Welcome. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the Real Love Lounge. I'm Susan Foxley, and I'm so glad you're here. A new year isn't really about becoming someone new, it's about coming fully home to yourself. Today, we're going to talk about love and relationships, not just romantic love, but the way love moves through our lives, our partnerships, our families, our communities, and most importantly, the relationship we have with ourselves. We'll also explore the stages of coming into full presence and full being, how awareness deepens, how we listen to our inner compass, and how love becomes clearer when we are more embodied, more honest, and more rooted in who we truly are. Later in this conversation, my husband will be joining me, and together we'll talk about love in real time, how it shows up through actions, communication, and compassion, and how we learn to go where the love is. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let this be a gentle reset for your heart and for your life at the Real Love Lounge. So, as you guys know, I'm a big heart math meditation person. There's something called the Heart Math Institute, and it creates mind heart coherence. And I love doing this practice. And the more I do it, the more I remember joyful memories, happy memories. And you guys, we have a negative bias. Most of us focus on the terrible things that happened in our childhood. So I like heart math meditation because it goes back and it helps us have a positive bias to focus on the wonderful things because, as we know, good thoughts go into good feelings go into good actions, and good actions go into good results. So I always love starting with heart math meditation. And I did this today. I worked with my 62-year-old client today and my 88-year-old client today. I work on Sundays sometimes, and I do this with them during Shavasana, and it's so profound. And you just place your hands at your heart, and you just breathe in through your heart and out through your heart as if your heart has nostrils. So breathe in and breathe out as if your heart has nostrils. Breathe in and breathe out. And I want you to go back to a beautiful memory under the age of 10. Maybe it was the first time you played in a pile of leaves or made a snowball or jumped in a wave. Just go back and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt as if you were there right here, right now. Go back to that memory, breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out, going back to that beautiful memory. And now we're going to eat some popcorn and go back to another memory under the age of 10. One memory, whatever that is, you petting your first animal, seeing your first butterfly. Breathe in and breathe out. Your first bicycle. Breathe in, breathe out. Go back to that memory. Your cells are smiling, your heart is smiling, your soul is smiling. One more memory, we'll eat some popcorn. Go back to your favorite memory as a teenager. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. Practice this on a daily basis. And through the practice of a momentum, your memories will get better and better. Oh, I forgot about that, or I forgot about that. My client, he would forget about this time in London or this time in Switzerland or this time. He keeps remembering, going over. And I even go back to his childhood home And I imagine him sleeping in his bed at 10 years old and eating eating food with his family, and just imagining all of his siblings around the table. And he gets so joyful. He says, "Susan, I forgot about those memories." Because we have that negative bias. So good thoughts go into good feelings and good choices, and a merry heart doeth good like medicine. So try that, and then we bring those memories into our future, assuming our wish is already fulfilled, and taking those joyful memories into our future of traveling or dancing or dropping into a pile of leaves or diving into a wave, or just going back and remembering your future. Most of us remember our past and we're addicted to our past. But as you guys have been studying with me, if you keep looking in the rearview mirror, you're going to crash. You have to look in the windshield of potentiality, plugging into your GPS system where you want to go. So I'm going to share with you guys uh, Dr. Michael Beckwith. He runs Agape Church, and I took one of his courses online, and I loved his 4 stages, and the 4 stages of being on Earth. And the first stage that we come into on this planet is as a victim. We come in and things happen to me. Uh, my parents treated me this way, and that happened to me. Or I got bullied in school, and that happened to me. We come in as a victim. All of us, most of us come in as a victim mode, and things happen to us. And then we evolve and we go into the manifester stage, and we realize that we can change our outsides by manifesting and things happening by me, by changing my friends, by changing the way I walk to school. Things happen by me. By doing my homework, I can get straight A's, or the manifester stage, things happening by me. And then we go into the channeler stage, which I love, that if we just drop down and we become a channel of our higher power or universal energy or creator, we become a channel or a conduit by actually finding our gifts and knowing our superpowers. So we're going to discover today, and we're going to become quiet. And what are your gifts? What are the natural gifts that the universe has given you? For me, I studied communications in college because every time I gave speeches, I got A's in school. So I became a communication major in school, in university, because it was a natural gift of mine to talk and share stories. I love talking. I'm also a Gemini. So becoming a channel, things go through me. So I really like that. It's also a surrender stage. Now the last stage is being consciousness, which I love. Just being consciousness as me. I am connected to all. I am connected to all, everything. And just really surrendering. I kind of look at that as Taoism, just being connected to all the streams, the rivers, the oceans, the planets, the stars, just being really quiet. And we are all connected. We are all connected. So again, I'm going to repeat the 4 stages. Victim, the victim stage, things happen to me. And I try to really watch my language. And when I say things happen to me, I kind of pause and I say things happen for me. Things happen for my highest good. And some things were not so great. As you guys know, I was a single mother. I was widowed, raising my son by myself when my son was 2.5 years old, raising him by myself. And I very much felt like things were happening to me. But diamonds grow under pressure, oaks grow in strong winds, and lotus flowers grow out of mud. And I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, that in Napa, when they grow grapes, when there's a year of drought and the grape is really struggling, that's when the wine tastes the best. So sometimes we may be going through these really difficult times, but our mess is our message. So our mess is our message. So I can go from the victim mode to the manifester mode, that things are happening for my highest good. And then I get to be a channel, that my mess is my message, and I get to help other people. I've helped a lot of single mothers. I've helped a lot of mothers with special needs children. I've helped a lot of people through going through my own mess. Now, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but sometimes that pain is a big teacher. So if you're in the middle of that pain right now, be compassionate with yourself. I love the havening work. I don't know if you know the havening method, but the havening method is really about loving ourselves and just being compassionate. And it's really actually, you take this. I worked at a trauma clinic, and when you rub yourself, you just say, "You are safe, you are loved, and you are okay." It's the havening method. You are safe, you are loved, and you are okay. You are safe, you are loved, and you are okay. And if we don't love ourselves, if we can't even look in the mirror and look at ourselves and say, "I love you, I really love you," which I couldn't do for a long time, you guys. I couldn't look at myself. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I would just criticize myself. I would just criticize myself. So, how can anyone else love me if I can't even love myself? So, I like the love diet. I'm writing the book, The Real Love Diet, you guys, because I really didn't love myself. And I remember I was working at Salvation Army, and I actually gave these guys, I used to teach classes, and I gave these guys a mirror and told them to look deeply in their own eyes and say, "I love you. I really, really love you." And most of them couldn't even do that. They were older. They'd been lived with themselves all their life, and they didn't even love themselves. So try the mirror work and try to look in your own eyes and your own soul and just say, "I love you. I really, really love you." And I think that helps with getting into, we all come in as victims. I've worked with clients of mine that have been molested by their caregivers. I mean, some of this stuff is really challenging, but we forgive because we don't want these people to have free rent in our heads. We want to be free. And any negative emotion is like having your foot on the hose. Any fear, any worry, any stress, any anxiety is putting your foot on the hose of any good in your life. So we want to eventually get into love and above, even loving those challenging times, loving that I got to through that dark night of the soul experience of being a single mother and all those challenges. It made me really strong. It made me really resilient. It really taught me so much, really taught me so many lessons to be a single mother, to be widowed. It gave me such compassion and empathy. I also struggled from depression in my youth. So I also work with people that have struggled with depression, and it helped me. I have a plethora of tools, and I'm always studying, like Dr. Michael Beckwith, who talks about the 4 stages of being a victim, and then you get to manifest. You get to choose not to be the victim. You get to be victorious. And I was teaching one of my clients cause and effect, and you always want to be at cause. So what does that mean, to always be at cause? So let's say the cause is it's a rainy Santa Monica day today, you guys. And the cause is it's rainy and it's dreary outside. And the cause, it's creating an effect of me feeling low and kind of dreary and kind of blah. Okay, so I'm at effect. Or let's say the cause is my child is acting out and he's being difficult, or my partner's being difficult. That's the cause. And the effect is I'm feeling really reactive. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling resentful. I'm feeling pissed off. You see, I'm at effect. But the thing is, you want to stay at cause and take your power back, regardless of whether it's rainy, regardless of if your partner's moody or your child's moody. You're going to be at cause and causing effect. So learning to master our thoughts and master our feelings. So regardless of what the environment is doing, I'm mastering positivity. I'm mastering love. Regardless, I got my umbrella out, you guys, today. I went out for a walk in the rain. Regardless of the rain, I'm still doing my exercise. I am causing effect. I am not being at effect. Otherwise, I will be a roller coaster ride if I'm at effect. So always choose to be at cause. And if you're at cause, taking your power back and mastering your thoughts and your feelings and your choices, you can be causing effect. And your cup will runneth over of joy and peace and harmony. But it's not easy, you guys, mastering our thoughts. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day, you guys. And most of those thoughts are the same as yesterday and the day before and the day before. And I used to have really shitty thoughts, you guys, the itty shitty bitty committee, right between my ears. So I teach that in my workshops. And I think I wrote my last blog on the gentle mental love diet. And I give everyone a rubber band at my workshops, and I have them literally when they're having a negative thought, criticizing, judging, complaining, self-deprecating, having a pity party. I'm not going to RSVP to my pity party. I'm going to snap out of it and erase and replace. And the best, I'm reading a book right now. I'm always reading books and filling myself up with positivity. And I'm reading this book right now called Just Feel Good. That's what the book is called. Just feel good. Do things that make you feel good. Write down things that you're grateful for. And I've been really meditating on all the beautiful things my eyes have seen. My eyes have seen mountains. My eyes have seen birds. My eyes have seen butterflies. My eyes have seen oceans. My eyes have seen my baby smile. My eyes have seen my son graduate from kindergarten. My eyes have seen my beautiful son graduate from high school. My eyes have seen my son fall in love. My ears have heard my son giggling. My ears have heard kind, loving words from my husband. My ears have heard years of beautiful music, classical music, rock music. My ears have heard birds singing. My ears have heard waves crashing. So grateful for my ears. Let's not take these for granted. Some people can't hear. How about my nose? My nose has smelled fresh baked bread. My nose has smelled beautiful roses, beautiful perfumes. My heart has loved my friends. And I was just listening to Katie Couric on a reel, and she was a newscaster, and her husband passed away. And her husband said, it's not what's really important with work. What really matters is friends and community and your family. That's what really matters. Towards the end of our life, what really matters are the people that love us. They did a Harvard study. I just saw my dad. I went to see him in Palm Springs. He's going to turn 91 this week. I can't believe my dad's going to be 91. And he has 10 children. And they did a Harvard study, what creates a long life. And it's just family and friends, community builds immunity. And I know some of my friends are on here. Thank you, you guys, for joining me. If you're one of my friends on here, I love you so much. Community builds immunity. And just surrounding yourself, go where the love is. We are the top common denominator of the 5 people we hang out with, you guys. And I was listening to a study earlier today that they took the sweat of people that jumped out of balloons or out of planes. They took the sweat from the sweatshirts of people that were jumping out of planes, and the sweat had that kind of fear in it. And then they took the sweat from people just doing a treadmill, and they took the sweat of someone from jumping from a plane, and the person smelled it, and their amygdala got all fearful. Like, we can pick up the sweat of people who are afraid. Our brains can rewire when we're around people who are afraid. Our amygdala, we get into that flight and fight when we are around people who are afraid. And there was no fight or flight sweat on the people that did the treadmill. So really, we are the common denominator of the 5 people we hang out with. You never see a crow and a lovebird on the telephone wire. They never hang out together. Birds of a feather flock together. So go where the love is. Go where the love is. And just remember to have mind heart coherence with heart math meditation. But we are in a new year, you guys, a new year and a new you. And there's a saying in the 12-step program: act yourself into right thinking. Act yourself into right thinking. In neuroplasticity, they say think yourself into right action. So I believe it swings both ways. So for me today, I'm going to act myself into right thinking. I got out into the rain, I got my umbrella, and I committed. I try to walk 10,000 steps a day, and I act myself into right thinking. For me, movement is medicine. I love movement. So I walk every day. I do yoga. If you guys haven't joined my YouTube channel, please get on my YouTube channel. It's fabulous. There's tons of free yoga on there. I was on channel 16 in Santa Monica for 10 years. So there's free yoga on there. There's chair yoga, there's floor yoga, there's bed yoga, and movement is medicine. My son suffered from major anxiety, you guys. And the number one thing for him, and they found studies on this, that walking is the best thing for anxiety. And I read a book called, I think it's called Anxiety, that we are the anxiety generation. A lot of these children in this new generation are anxious. Walking is the best medicine for that fresh air, movement of your blood. It just gets you out of your head. And I also massage people's heads sometimes during shavasana and yoga. And they said, Susan, why does this feel so good? I said, because we spend 90% of our day thinking and worrying and ruminating. Drop down from the neck below, walk and move and do yoga and stretch. And I even have a bed yoga book called the Foxley Fix. And it's a bed yoga book you can find on Amazon. It's the best medicine. Movement is medicine. And some of my clients can't get out of bed. So you can do the bed yoga book. I have a yoga TV show called Bed Back and Beyond. So we're going to get back to the victim mode, you guys. We don't want to give people free rent in our head. We want to be free. We want to be free. And I have a book that I've written, Mixed Up to Fixed Up in 4 weeks, or for those that are really effed up to fixed up in 4 weeks. And remember to stay on your mental gentle diet, you guys. No criticizing, no gossip, no complaining, or you snap out of it. And remember, I give this card to everybody in my workshops. The only thing you have to deal with are your thoughts. The only thing you have to deal with are your thoughts. And put this on a piece of paper and put it on your desk. Write this on a piece of paper now or on an index card and put it on your desk. This saved me. This saved me. Because good thoughts go into good feelings go into good actions, and good actions go into wonderful results. Bad thoughts go into bad feelings go into bad actions, and bad actions go into bad results. So stay on your gentle mental diet, and you can read my blog at susanfoxley.com. But my step 1 in my book, Mixed Up to Fixed Up, is clear and clean. No resentments, you guys. No resentments in your head. Think positive thoughts. Think about what your nose does and smells, your ears hear, your eyes see, your lips speak words, your heart love. You have arms to hug. You have legs to walk. You have feet to balance. You have a computer to watch this on. You have hopefully running water. Hopefully you have electricity. Hopefully you may have a car to drive, and if you don't have a car to drive, you have legs to walk. We're so blessed, you guys. We are so blessed. If we have a computer to see this right now, we are so blessed. Our cup runneth over. What we appreciate appreciates. What we focus on grows. So remember that, you guys. So try, maybe I'll upload my first week of Mixed Up to Fixed Up so you can listen to that on YouTube for free. But it's about clearing and cleaning your negative thoughts. And you can get this on Amazon. But the second stop is planning and planting. And it's a new year. So write a thank you list as if you already have it. Please write a thank you list every morning. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for the love in my life. Thank you for my 5 extra clients a week. Thank you for the extra income, X amount of dollars a month. Thank you, as if you already have it. Write a thank you list. That's step 2 in my workshop. Plan and plant what you do want. Write it down, pen to paper. You are the architect of your own life. And step 3 is witness and watch. When you plant bamboo, it can take up to 5 years to break ground. So be patient. And then it grows 25 feet in 24 hours. So be careful what you pray for. You might get an overabundance of it. So when you write a thank you list, close your eyes and assume your wish is already filled. Your lover's already in your bed. Your doctor, your diagnosis has washed away. Your doctor has given you a clean bill of health. Your doctor has given you a clean bill of health, that there's forgiveness with you and a friend, or forgiveness with you and a parent. And as you guys know, I love the Ho'oponopono prayer. If you have someone in your life, there's a lot of challenges and pain. Just imagine them sitting in front of you and saying, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And them saying to you, I love you and I'm sorry too. Please forgive me. Remember, all illness is from lack of forgiveness. They say in the Course in Miracles, all illness is lack of forgiveness. Forgive yourself. You did the best you could. Forgive others. They did the best they could. I love you and I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And you can even do it to their photo. You can even do it just in your mind, your heart, and your soul. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And then close your eyes and imagine your wish is already fulfilled. And then the 4th step is reap and repeat. Reap and repeat. Repetition is the mother of genius. So you have to go back and do your dirty dishes. Yesterday's shower doesn't clean you today. Yesterday's brushing of your teeth doesn't clean your teeth today. It's a daily reminder to clear and clean your negative thoughts. Plan and plant what you do want, and assume your wish is already fulfilled. Witness and watch. Close your eyes and assume your wish is already fulfilled. So definitely, since it's a new year and a new you can get this on Amazon. And now we are going to talk about love. We have a great guest on the Real Love Lounge, and that is my husband. We get a wonderful guest, my husband, on the Real Love Lounge, and we're going to talk about love, and we're going to talk about the stages of love. And if you guys have any questions, you can type them into the chat. And hi, Javi. Nice to see you.
So how's your show going? How's it going?
It's great, doing great. We talk about the 4 stages of consciousness and how we try not to get into the victim mode. And I think, John, I wrote a blog called The Best Lingerie is a Smile. The best lingerie is a great outfit.
Yeah.
Don't you like it when people are feeling love and above? Isn't love and positivity contagious?
Well, I think everybody either, you either have love or you want love, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's 2 kinds of people. Love, I got it, I'm happy, everything's great, or I want love. We went to a New Year's Eve party. And, it's getting there, the countdown, 10, 9, 8, and I'm starting to move over towards, Susan, to be with her at the moment where you have the kiss right at midnight. And I looked around the room for a second, and there's a lot of people that, there was pairing off, but then there was the people like, what am I going to do right now? It's like, Happy New Year. Great. And then we were nice, sweet woman, about 45 or so. And I kissed my wife, and then
We included her in our hug. We
yeah,
did a
we were,
group hug.
and then she started getting all weepy. It turned out that she had broken up with somebody, and just recently, like the guy, they had a Christmas together, and then talk about terrible timing. I mean, and it just kind of and so she was kind of teary eyed, and we kind of comforted her. Hey, it's going to be fine, and I mean, it just made me think that I've had good New Years, and I've had some crummy New Years,
You told me about that one year, honey, that you had a
well,
really
no,
horrible New Year.
it was
Remember?
it was like you're sitting, or if you're single, and the big moment comes, and you're looking around at all these people that are pairing off with their loved one, and if you're not one of those people, it's kind of like, who are you going to kiss? And there's always like the girl you go give a hug to, and you're and kind of like, it's like a pity hug. It's like that when you were in high school, and they'd say, go dance with that girl, no one's asking her to dance, and nobody wants that dance, nobody wants that pity hug. Everybody wants everybody wants the real deal.
So what if you don't have that, John? What if you don't have the real deal? What do you do?
Well, all I know is this. I worked in news my whole life, and people tell me everything. People tell you things when you work in news. And what do you do when you don't have the love? I think I was married, and then I was divorced. And then 18 years went by, or 17 years, and then I met you. And I mean, it's like, there was times when I thought, maybe I'm not going to get married again. Maybe I'll just, meet somebody, and we'll grow old together, and it'll be a live-in thing. And then, things happen all the time. So I think you don't want to dwell on what you don't have. You want to focus on what you could have. And I think it's like, when in news, I interviewed Jesse Jackson before. Remember Jesse Jackson? He always said, keep hope alive, keep hope alive. And I just, and I always kind of had that attitude that, if I'm working hard or I'm busy or something, I always kept hope alive. And, you go out on dates, and you keep at it. The people that look, it's just like quitting smoking or something. The people that actually do it are the ones that keep trying. And I think, one of my sisters, she's always, oh, I'll never meet anybody, I don't care. And I know that she kind of, if the right guy came along, she'd like, let's make it happen. But yeah, I think number one is keep hope alive and get out there. I mean, I worked in a grocery store when I was 18, and I met so many people in the grocery store. They come through my line. I wanted to be a checker, because then they could come through your line, right? I mean, talk about great places a generic, organic place to meet people. Go to the store every day and pick up dinner and keep hope alive. I also think that, don't stay home all the time. I know too many guys, they just like, they're go home from work, and they're on their computer, and who knows what they're looking at. But it's like,
That's great advice, John.
But I mean, if you're just going out, and people say, oh, bars, I don't want to meet anyone in a bar. But I met a lot of great people in bars. I met some of my best friends in a bar, because I mean, a bar is really just a place that's not you staying at home.
What about meetup?
I'm not really
like hiking groups.
Oh, I think it doesn't really matter what you do. Is it that you do something? You don't hang out at home and just wallow in my loneliness. I mean, there's nothing worse than to stay at home and just think about stuff. So go out and do it. Just go to the store. Go out and join the Sierra Club. If you're politically minded, join a group. If you want to give to somebody, I mean, I see a lot of people that are, if you go to Mexico or you go to Thailand, you see a lot of people who are poor. I mean, they're butt poor. Butt poor.
Yes.
I mean, you're just poor, but they're happy.
Yes.
And you drive by. I remember I was in Cabo, down in Mexico one time, and I'm driving past. We're going past all these homes, and there's no windows in the hut, but there's a color TV in there, and everyone's out there playing in the yard. And it doesn't take a lot of money to be happy. I just think that it takes people. And so you want to be around people. Some people are lucky. They have good people jobs. And
But that's great advice. I knew a woman, the only prerequisite was she wanted a guy that had a job. So that so her spiritual teacher told her to go to Staples.
Oh yeah.
And she literally met her husband at Staples.
Well,
I love that, because the Staples is where they get printing paper and computers. And I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Well, everybody's
How
got
about Home Depot?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's not where you go; it's who you're with, right? It's you never know. But I do think, like, you go for hikes. Like when we go on hikes a lot, and we'll see a lot of people that are just out there. A lot of them are single, and I mean, I think a lot of you just got to stay out there, and I'm not saying join a class or go to the YMCA. I mean, it's cheap. You work out for an hour. It's cheap, and you meet a lot of people there. And and the last thing I would say, don't be afraid to be a little bold. Bold means just saying hi to somebody. You look over there, and I remember one time I saw somebody, and she looked over at me, and I looked over at her, and I thought, this is a moment. It's just a casual glance, but we both looked at each other and smiled, kind of like, maybe she kind of likes me. She's kind of cute. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to go over there. And I went and talked to her. And we ended up dating for, 6 months or so. But you gotta be a little more bold. You can't be afraid to
take risks.
Yeah, and it's not really a risk. It's just it's a way of opening. You're opening a door. And you might end up leaving the room and closing the door in 10 seconds. But if you don't try, you'll never know.
And then what if you're in a relationship and the guy's not committing to you, and he's kind of sitting on a fence? What do you do in that situation?
Everything's different, right? So,
but what is that saying that you say?
Okay. I always say, look, if I care about somebody, I'm going to try to make sure that they know. Right. I mean, I'm not going to be, it's the saying is this: if you don't know how he feels, you know how he feels. In other words, like, if he's not telling you, I love you and I care about you and I want to be with you, it's all, if sometimes you get information from what they do say, but it's not the information that you want to hear. But, I'll say it again. If you don't know how he feels about you, you know how he feels about you. He's not quite there. And, that might be the case. I think it's the case in most relationships that I think that if someone, I'm a guy. Okay. So if I like someone, I want them to know I'm going to do little things for her. I'm going to, open her car door. I'm going to buy her a soda. I'm going to, have coffee for her, kind of like what you did with me. She always buys me coffee in the morning because she gets up early and I don't. I sleep in.
And John does my laundry sometimes for me if I'm working long hours.
Sometimes. Let's go 80% of the laundry I do.
He's wonderful. I have a great husband.
No, I'm just a guy who does laundry. That's all. But my mom taught me well. But yeah, I mean,
I hit the lottery.
A lot of people, they're in good relationships and they're going well and great. Sometimes we're in a relationship where it's not going, so well, or you don't, it's like,
what if he's a hell maybe? There's hell yes, hell no, hell maybe.
I was just gonna say that. It's like, it's like buying a car. It's either a hell yes or a hell no. And I think, if you're buying me, if you're buying, you're buying a companion, a relationship.
Yes, it's a business deal.
It's got to be a hell yes or a hell no. I mean, you can go out on a couple dates and you don't really have a good idea about somebody yet, but I think that
a hell maybe never turns into a hell yes, right? Well, that's what I found.
I think a hell maybe. A lot of people are hell maybes in the beginning, but if you've gone out a few times and I mean, maybe there's sex involved. I'm not sure, but if you kind of, after like 10 dates, come on. I mean, you should, if it's not really great, then, it's a hell maybe, then to me, it's kind of a hell no.
I heard ambivalence is the worst. If you're ambivalent about any friendship or relationship, bye-bye.
Well, I just think that, a relationship, a good one that's going to last, that's going to be meaningful, you're going to feel something. And if you don't feel it, you don't feel it. You can't force it. If you don't feel it, don't force it.
I like that.
And, but, it's give a guy a chance. I think, sometimes people cut it off to where we get a little, what I call like the sign, you get too Seinfeld. Oh, she had man hands or something.
Or the ears are too small.
Yeah, or Susan has this guy had too small of an ear. I was like, what's wrong with his ears? They were too small. They were like tiny. I don't know, but
it's called Seinfeld syndrome.
And don't judge, just because you kind of you shouldn't be judging people, but everybody has their own quirks, and what works for me doesn't work for you. I think that there's some kind of magic with love and relationships, and sometimes it's all about timing. The person that you met, how many times have you heard, oh, we met in high school and we dated a little bit in high school, and then they're in their 60s and they get married? I mean, I know people that they met again. The opportunity was missed, but somehow those two people came together again, and it's working out.
Do you need chemistry, communication, and compatibility?
I think so.
Okay, what do you think is the most important?
I think
probably all three, right?
I think their chemistry. What's chemistry? It's just like when you get along with somebody, you could say, "Oh, we have chemistry," but it's like you're in a restaurant, say, and you see a couple couples, and some couples are laughing and talking, and they're you're just having a good time, and then there's the other couple that's they're both on their phone, and I'm not judging things, but everything works for a reason. But I always like the fact that like we laugh a lot. We laugh and have fun. And
but we go on, what helps us, I think we go out every Friday night, no matter what. We have Friday night date night, and we go away once a month. We go on a road trip somewhere.
Well, we try.
Yeah.
And we went to Palm Springs, and it was kind of a family time. But
I think getting away helps. Like, even when I was a single mother, I would go camping with Ben one night, or go to some cheap hotel, go somewhere to mix it up so that life doesn't feel rote and stale and boring. Don't you think that's important in relationships too?
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't want to be, where it's Friday night. I mean, it's, date night. What are we going to do? We're out of ideas. Well, let's go to that play. Like, we went to that. There's a theater. I'll just do a little Ruskin theater group. And they started this little theater at the Santa Monica airport. And, for years it's done well, but it's kind of struggled. They finally got enough money to open a new theater, a bigger theater, with a little theater and a bigger theater. And I saw that they wanted to open it up early just to have to show it to and we went, and it was just sort of off the cuff. It was a really fun event.
Yeah.
And it was part of the it's part of the community.
You see people in Santa Monica.
Yeah, we saw some people we knew, and it was just a nice event to be a part of. And we didn't even think about going until, that day. But, be open-minded to just mix it up a little bit, right?
Exactly. I like that advice. I really like that advice.
You can't give up. You gotta have, there's love out there for everybody. Everybody needs love, and, I see people, if I go to church or something, I see people together all the time for years. I see people that just
and you do service work, John. I think being of service to your community is a great way to meet people.
Well, if you're like in the Sierra Club, or if you're I'm a parks commissioner, so I support parks, and I'm in a lot of parks. There's a lot of people that go to parks just to walk around. I mean, get out of the house. Yeah, no one's going to come knocking on your door. Hi, I'm your love of your life. Hi, how you doing? It's just not going to work.
Exactly.
You got to go out. Some people say, you got to be there for people, and that's good. But I think you don't just be there for people. You want to go out there and get them. You gotta do a little work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're working for a job, but you're not filling out a resume. I mean, some place like Match.com might feel like a resume sometimes, but you got to keep trying.
Do you think also that you have to have a positive attitude? You can't be a Debbie Downer to go out into the world. Don't you think you have to have some kind of optimism and smile?
Well, imagine if I just, everything's bad and,
miserable.
No one wants to be No one likes a complaint. Do not what's Dale Carnegie say? Do not condemn, criticize, or complain. Wham, wham, wham. No one likes a whiner. And be upbeat. You got
Be upbeat. And
even if it's a struggle to be upbeat, just put it out there. And remember that, a lot of people, will judge you. Or I always think that, no matter who it is, no matter who the person is, no matter, you have your own skills and your own talents, and you have your, God, I mean, our son, Ben, we were thinking, God, Ben needs a girlfriend. Jesus. I mean, he's just kind of a shy kid,
my son's super shy, you guys.
He's a little shy, and, he's not super shy, but, he's not Mr. Casanova, ladies man. And so, he just, he met a girl online, and he went and met her, and it's like, boom, and I didn't, she happened to live in another country, but it doesn't matter. There's somebody out there for everybody, I think.
There's a lid for every pot.
Well, yeah, except if you go to our cupboard, but no, but there is a lid for every pot. I think. I'm not Mr. Optimistic all the time, positive, but it's realism. The reality is there's a lot of people in the world, and there's a lot of lonely people. I mean, the Surgeon General of the United States 5 years ago or so came out and said there's an epidemic of loneliness in this country. And I mean, that was during the pandemic, but it was even before then. There's a lot of lonely people out there, and you'd be surprised. We've all heard that story about somebody was walking down the street and they said hello to some lady, and then years later they met again, and the lady says, you know what, I was going to go home and do my life, and then you said, and you gave me a nice smile. You'd never know.
It ripples. The stuff that we do ripples out into the world. That smile or that joy or that love. And then also the opposite. Anger can ripple out.
Or just negativity. And,
yes.
Everybody likes somebody who's kind of upbeat. People like to have hope.
Yes.
I'm Jesse Jackson. Keep hope alive.
I love that.
When it comes to relationships, you got to keep out there and just you don't have to change everything, or, and if the dating world is not, going your way for a while, then I think that you focus on yourself a little bit. The old, you got to put the oxygen mask on first, yourself. And then you do your kid. So then this is the time, and everyone has their New Year's resolutions. I think 8 years ago, I quit smoking on January 5th. And the reason I quit on January 5th was because I screwed up and I smoked. I quit on January 1st. And of course I screwed up. But by the 5th, I got it together, and I haven't had it, a cigarette since. But, a lot of New Year's resolutions, I'm going to get in shape. And you go to the YMCA here, and it's all packed for the first 5 days of the year. By about, January 10th, about a week from now, it'll settle down a little bit. Don't feel guilty about it. Just keep trying. Keep trying. And you don't even have to try. I like the organic.
Allow.
Yeah, allow. Just kind of stay out there.
Attract. You don't have to chase, just attract. Too.
I mean, that restaurant down the street has a half price. I like to go out. Sometimes I would go out by myself and have dinner and treat myself to dinner. And, you never know who's going to sit down, eat at the bar. That's good advice, and
John.
Just get out there a little bit. You'd be surprised.
Or the breakfast counter.
If we went for a walk right now in Santa Monica, beautiful park, Palisades Park is along the ocean up above a cliff. And if you walk through Palisades Park, you're going to see people that you'd like to meet. And all you got to do is, the two letters that could start any relationship. Hi. How are you? I'm fine.
What if you live in a remote area? What if someone's watching this right now and they live in the sticks? What do you suggest?
Well, I mean, all kinds of people used to, 30 years ago, everybody met people. Most people would meet love through someone else, a relationship, a work relationship, someone in the family. We were talking about, your sister knows somebody that might want to date my brother, and that's
network.
Yeah, well, that's how people used to. But if you're kind of isolated, you've got to find a way to get out there. If it's, um, how do you go out? I would find a lot of excuses to get out of my house as much as possible, because I just don't think anyone's going to be coming knocking on your
That's a
door.
great idea. I
But
love that.
but I mean, if it's match.com, it's match.com,
Yes.
or there's no shame in some people. Oh, dating site, no. But
be discerning when
yeah.
you're on those sites,
Yeah,
right?
well, you got to be careful no matter what you do.
Yes.
You can't.
Be cautious.
But if you got some close friends, just say, hey, let's say you got 3 or 4 close friends, girlfriends or whatever. Hey, I'm kind of, I kind of like to meet somebody. You got your friends love you, and they want you to be happy. They're gonna work for, instead of you just working at it, they're gonna work for you. So if you put a little feelers out there, I think some people, like you see the person that's like this is not very approachable, but then there's the people with their hands out open.
I like that.
And they're approachable, and you want to be that person. What is it like? You want to be the person you want to date, right?
Yeah, make a list of everything you want in a partner, and then become that.
And it just,
you'll be a magnet.
Yeah, you'll be a magnet.
And
hopefully
there's 5 love languages: touch, time, acts of service, gifts, and compliments. And John and I share the same love language, which really helps. We love touch.
We're touch.
And we love compliments, words of affirmation. But time is not ours. Like we like to do. John likes to spend time doing his projects. I like to spend time doing my projects. So that really helps to have the same love language too.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that they might have relationships, but time is really, one person really wants to be with the other person all the time. That's not me. And what are the acts of service? If you bring me coffee, that's an act of service.
Yes.
And it's what I always say is the little things are the big things. What does Maya Angelou say? People won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And if you make somebody feel good that day, chances are they're going to want to get to know you better.
That's beautiful, John.
Right?
That's exactly
right. If you're good, if you're putting out goodness, if you're putting out a smile, and
kindness, and naturally uplift people, because most of the time we don't know what people are we're not walking in their moccasins, and people are sometimes going through tough times, and just giving them one compliment or a smile or making their day by doing a little act of service really can transform people's lives.
Well, I just, if I have a good attitude, I think I'm going to attract people who are looking for a good attitude. No one likes a grump. It's just not fun. I mean, you want somebody to be fun and uplifting, and yes, have a job and care about you. But just remember, if you don't know how he feels, you know how he feels, and it's something to work on.
But that's great advice, John. Just get out there. Don't isolate. We're in a loneliness epidemic. It's 2026, and those people that want to find love, go out there and attract it. You don't have to chase it, but attract it by looking good, feeling good, and
in the meantime, if take care of yourself. This is you don't have to have, I'm going to work out at the gym 5 days a week. Just go work. Do a little something 3 days a week. Keep it going. Do something for yourself. Get healthier. Maybe just. I play guitar, not because I just like it, so you take up a hobby and all of a sudden it becomes something important. Now I play all the time, and it adds value to my life. It adds joy to my life, and do little things that make you happy, and I think a lot of people, we get stuck in our jobs, and we got to go home, and we got the home life or the job life, and we forget that we only have so much time. And so you want to make sure that you're spending your time with someone you like and on the things that you like, and just gravitate towards the things that you enjoy, and avoid the things that maybe are holding you back a little bit, especially. And the biggest thing that holds us back, I think, is sometimes the past. and we keep dwelling on what happened to us. And what's that saying? Your past is behind you, your future is spotless. So
I love that. Your
focus on
future is spotless. That's
it
really
is.
good.
I mean,
I like that.
and
That's really good,
and
John.
we always hear, oh, you're enough. You are enough. I mean, and I don't want anybody that doesn't want me. I mean, I got my faults, and believe me, she would tell you. But I think that for the most part, I'm a pretty good person, and I think that you want to probably meet. I think people want to meet that pretty good person. We're not perfect, but just someone that makes me feel good inside and cares about me and would go to bat for me or help me bury the body or something like that. Everybody wants to find that, and you will. And don't stress out over it. Things happen organically, they happen naturally all the time. Love happens. I saw this couple today, and I just, how long you guys been married? And they said, 10 years. And I was like, hey, I got 11. And they were older than we are. And I thought, love later in life it's a thing. And if you start thinking about it, then all of a sudden I start seeing all these people.
Looking for evidence.
I know a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that are getting married and happy as hell. Just happy.
Even in their 60s and their 70s. I mean, one of my friends, she got married at 65 and beautiful marriage.
So what's the one thing that they did not do? They did not
give up.
They didn't. And you got to keep hope. You got to, there's somebody for everybody, and, in the meantime, some of us will get a little pet or a cat or a dog or something that loves us.
Or a hobby.
A hobby. Yeah, exactly. Or a new workout regimen or something. I just want to run 30 minutes 3 times a week. That's my workout. And then from there, if I do that, then I'll go and do something
And it's
else.
good enough.
Yeah, health is number 1. I think love is number 2.
Yeah, right? Health is definitely number 1. Yeah. Health is number 1, you guys. You got to take care of yourself, no question.
But love's a close second, though. I got to tell you. I mean, if you don't, I'm a better person. I'm a better person when I have some love in my life, right?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so. And I love your message, John, about not giving up and just going out there and not, I have a few people in my life right now that I'm thinking about that have just given up. They said, Susan, I'm done. I've been hurt. I don't want to go back there. And I think keep hope alive.
Yeah. Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive.
And like you say, there's 2 kinds of people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
People looking for love and people that have love. So the people looking for love, I am using my imagination and visualizing you finding love in 2026 easily and effortlessly and joyfully, and magnetizing it to you easily and effortlessly and joyfully. And I like what Neville Goddard says. He says, imagination is God. Use your imagination to imagine the best. And what we think about, we bring about.
I think a lot of people, they always dream about, oh, there he is, or there she is. Man, she's going to be coming through the door right now. And I don't know. I think it takes a little effort to go out and find somebody. And it's so worthwhile.
So it's like I talked about, act yourself into right thinking. Yeah. It's action, right?
Yeah, I used to go out to bars a lot because I was home alone and I didn't want to watch a Shawshank Redemption for the 18th time. So I find get out of the house, go have a meal, late night dinner somewhere, and then somebody will sit down next to you, and the next thing you know, you're friends. That's how I think it works.
I love that.
Organically and without effort. It doesn't have to be stressful. You don't have to worry about it. Worry, all it does is give you these wrinkles. What are those crow's feet on your?
Yes, and worrying is praying for what you don't want.
Yeah,
worrying is praying for what you don't want. So embed it with faith.
Well, I think I talk way too much,
but John, it was so fun to have you on the Real Love Lounge, you guys, and I hope John comes back on because he gives some great wisdom. You really do, John. You have a great positive, optimistic attitude, and he really is an amazing husband and an amazing partner. Well, I feel really lucky.
I like to think, like I'm a pretty good guy, and I do know how guys think. So I'm good at that. Like Listen, a guy that likes you, a guy that cares about you, he's going to make sure that you know it because he wants you. And that's the litmus test. When the guy really, you can tell when that guy, hey, I think he likes me. We've all had that feeling, hey, she likes me. And there's a reason you have that feeling. When people give you that feeling, know it, feel it, and respond likewise.
Beautiful, John. Thank you
All right,
so
I'm
much.
taking off. See
And
you guys.
one last thing. We'll say it together, John.
What?
Always, always.
Oh, always go.
Always, always, always go where the love is.
That's your saying. That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
good too, right?
Always go where the love is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
John, it's been such a privilege to have you on the Real
Bye.
Love Lounge. Okay, love you.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for joining tonight, you guys. It's now 7:30 and we're going to close up. And I just was so honored to have my husband on here and have you guys listening in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm blessing you guys in 2026, sprinkling magic dust of blessings on you, that you have love and harmony and peace. And just know it is your birthright to thrive mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, romantically, intellectually, creatively, and always it's your birthright to thrive. And I'm sprinkling magic dust of blessings on you. It's magic dust of blessings 2026. So remember to and subscribe. And again, I'm so honored and privileged to have you on here tonight. All my love, big hugs. God bless you. Mwah.